I wanted to work on Heaven's Gate because of Michael Cimino, because at one time he had tried to contact me regarding The Deer Hunter. But sadly I was on another production and he understood. But I was determined, because after seeing Deer Hunter, he was one of the directors that I always wanted to work with. He wanted someone with experience of that particular size of movie. I had been in co-second AD of Cleopatra, and then third AD on Lawrence Arabia, but then I moved up to second AD. Well, my position was second assistant director, and most of my work on Heaven's Gate, like many other films, is dealing with the daily call sheet, the actors, being very close to the actors, being very close to the makeup, hair, costume department, and the stunt department. When I thought about Michael, I thought he was a stick of dynamite. I said he was like a stick of dynamite that's waiting to go off. There was a lot of Stanley Kubrick about him, but there was also a lot of Richard Brooks about him. There was a bit like Anthony Mann, who I've also worked with in the past. Very demanding. Never be late. Never assume. And don't think. It's either yes or no, or you don't know. It had to be right, otherwise you were in trouble. I managed to get through Heaven's Gate with the challenge of Michael Cimino because of having worked with David Lean, Anthony Mann, and Richard Brooks. The studio did probably question, was it necessary to have the amount of extras and stunts that we had in Montana, and also the number of dancers, extras that we had at Oxford for Harvard? Because it's not only the amount of extras, it's the amount of costumes, props, makeup, hair, personnel, equipment, catering, transport. It just adds up. Michael's answer would be because that's how it was. And he wanted that energy, and he wanted the screen filled with many characters, many people. In certain scenes, if you really want it to look how it should, and how the director really sees it, and how the script portrays it, then you've got to have those number of people. When we came to England, to Oxford in particular, the Harvard look, we had nearly 2,000 extras, and they were including 250 professional dancers. They all had to be looked at by Michael, also then Polaroided, and then he chose every person by the Polaroid photographs, and then we costume fit them at the studio, and then we had makeup and hair. We would rehearse one day with everybody in costume, and then shoot it the next day, then rehearse another big sequence, and then shoot it. It was so important that Michael had met some of our English aristocracy, some lords and ladies' daughters who were right honourables, and they became the extras. They looked so right. They'd been brought up like that, you know, how the women moved. Michael wanted me to deal with the actors. He lost his temper at times when people tried to interfere. He only wanted me to deal with them, their calls, telling them what the scene was going to be. He knows what he wants and expects from the actors, and listens as well to their suggestions, which is fantastic. And for him, the cast was so important that he had a wonderful relationship with them. He knew how to talk to them. I watched him, like David Lean did, pull them aside quietly and tell them, or say maybe we should do it a little bit like this, or maybe we should change your look a little bit like that, or maybe a bit softer with the words here. And they also loved working with Michael because Michael treated them with the respect that they should have. Also, he had an eye. Michael has a fantastic eye, like David, Stanley, and Anthony Mann. He has that fantastic visual look. He knows what he wants. Or with the Heaven's Gate, with the guys with the long white coats, dark chestnut and black horses. When they arrived with the dust, the clouds were very grey and black and low. And he wanted to film that wonderful look of the whiteness of them and the greyness of these clouds. And he wanted to wait, quite rightly, until they were at that particular height. He had that wonderful eye that he might say to film, wait, let's wait. I want to get that sky right because it's going to make this shot more, whatever, sinister or breathtaking. And those things are not obviously in the script. And sometimes, yeah, you have to wait for it.
Jesus, they're coming!
Well, I keep coming back working with Michael Cimino because he involves you. A lot of directors don't. He involves you right from the prep time to the last day of shooting. You feel that you are really part of the movie and you're helping him, and he involves you, no matter what position you are. Working with Michael, I really felt part of the movie more than most other people that I've worked with.
God, you're beautiful.
So are you.